Students, welcome to our session. And today we are going to learn about chapter number 11, the topics which we have in chapter number 11. The name of this chapter is Motion and Measurement of Distances. In our previous chapter, in our previous session, we have discussed about the movement of animal and human being. All living organisms which live on earth, they also movement to us. Now how, by using which type of ways they move from one place to another place. For example, if I and you want to go anywhere from one place to another place, then we use the different vehicles. Also, we go here to there by movement our body by walking. So we have different ways which we have used to move from one place to another place. In this chapter, in this motion and measurement of distances, they have given us some ways and some transport using different types of transport. We go from one place to another place. Okay, so now we will discuss about this all topic. You can see here our chapter number 11, motion and measurement of distances. In this chapter, we will learn about the transport measurement, need to measure distance, length, measurement of length, motion and its types. Uh, in our first paragraph, how do you come to school? Do you use the same mode of transport as your classmates? Which mode of transport is the most common? How do you decide which mode of transport to take to travel to different places? You could take a bus, go on foot or by car depending upon the distance between your house and the destination. Would you travel by train to go to a far off place like France? That means in this paragraph, they ask us how we go from one place to another place. How do you go to your school? Which type of transport you have used? In our school, all students come to school using different types of transport. Some students come in school van, some in private, and some using their bicycle. If we want to go from one place to another place, then we use different types of transport. In this chapter, we have different types of transports which we have used depending upon the distance one has to travel. Depending upon our distance, we use the different types of travel, different types of vehicles for traveling. One decides the means of transport. You can see different vehicles on the road such as cars, scooters, motorbikes, buses, trucks, bicycles and rickshaw, which people used to move from one place to another place. That means all type people which want to go from one place to another place, they use a different vehicle according to their distance. If I want to go at my neighbor house, then I don't use there any type of vehicle. I go there by walking because the distance between them home and my home no more. But if I want to go from one city to another city, then I use any type of transport, any type of vehicle, because the distance between two cities are more compared to house. So according to our distance, how I want to cover distance, so then I use vehicle. We have land transport. Land transport is the most commonly available transport. You can also see in picture. In land transport, we have bicycle, bullock cart, car, train. These all types are vehicle used in the land transport. Land transport is the most commonly available transport. Trains are also means of land transport. The other type of transport are water transport and air transport. You can also see here land transport, then water transport and air transport. This type of transport which we use in our daily life, boats, ships, etc. are different means of water transport which we use in water transport. Boats and rafts are commonly used in lakes, canals and rivers. In order to travel across the ocean, ships are used. Ships are used there. To travel large distance such as from one country to another country, from one state to another state, we use their air transport. Which type of air transport? We use their plane and helicopter to travel large distance. For example, New Delhi to Chennai. If I want to go New Delhi to Chennai, then I cannot use a bicycle or car because it is risky also. Bicycle is not possible for us to go from New Delhi to Chennai. So I use their air transport because air transport can reach, using these transports we can reach our destination first. So according to our distance, we use different types of transport. In our this figure 11.1 means of transport, that means means of transport, that means we use different types of transport. Which type of transport? Land transport, water transport and air transport. We have total three types of mean transport: land transport, water transport and air transport. In land transport, we use a car, train, and other types of vehicles. Then in water transport, we use the boat, ship, etc. And in air transport, we use plane, aeroplane. The act of moving from one place to another is called motion. Motion. What is the meaning of motion? The act of moving from one place to another place is called motion. People walking, animals moving, movement of automobiles and flying of kites, birds and aeroplanes are example of motion. These are all the examples of motion. The act of moving from one place to another place. This all the show us the motion. In figure 11.2, you can see motion around us. Here the boy is running, boy is riding a bicycle, flying kite. This all show us the movement. That means these are all called a motion. Course of development of transport. Course of development of transport. Transport, that means people go from one place to another place. They show us the motion. Long ago people did not have any means of transport. Long years ago they have no any type of vehicles. They did not use any type of transport. They used to walk and carry load on their back or head. They also used animals like horses, bullocks, donkeys, etc. They use this type of animals. If we want to go from one place to another place, they use these types of animals because they did not have any type of means available there. They have no cars, bicycle, scooters. So they use different types of animals and also carry the heavy weight on their back and on their head. In earlier times, moving across water was difficult. In earlier times, moving across water was difficult. People discovered that they could use wooden planks for this purpose. Later on, people learned to stick together different pieces of wood and give shapes of boats. They developed, continued their things, and then after some times they have discovered a boat. They gave the shape to the wood and made a boat. Invention of the wheel brought a revolution in the modes of transport. Invention of a wheel is very useful for people. Animals were used to pull vehicles such as bullock carts and tangas that move on wheels. Vehicles that move on wheels made traveling from one place to another more comfortable and faster. All vehicles used today such as bicycle, motorcycles, scooters, cars, trucks, buses and trains move on wheels. All types of things are possible by inventing the wheel. Because using the wheels, we can invent many types of vehicles which are very useful for us. Then also the steam engine introduced the railroad transport. Railroads were made to run carriages and wagons driven by steam engine. Later motorized boats and ships were made as a means of faster water transport because it is difficult to transport on water. So they invent more and more things and made different types of boats and ships which they used to travel from one place to another place. At present time, in present time these all types of vehicles very useful to people. Aeroplanes were developed in early years of 1900 which made traveling faster. In the 20th century, electric trains, monorail, etc., which all types of examples given in our textbooks were developed according to their time. They developed, and by this time we all use different types of transport. Then measurement. You have already learned that if you know the distance between places, you can decide the mode of transport to reach your destination. As we have discussed, if we want to go from one place to another place, which type of wings we use is depend on the distance between two places which we have want to go. Many a times you need to measure lengths and distances. A tailor needs to know the length of the cloth to stitch a dress for you, such as shirt, pant, kurta, pajama, and coat. A tailor needs to know the length of our body if they want to make our clothes because they want measurement of our body. A carpenter needs to measure the length, height, and width in order to make furniture. If a carpenter want to make any type of furniture, then they want measurement of the wood to make a one type of furniture, any type of furniture. If the carpenter want to make, then they need measurement of wood. Without measurement, we cannot make any type of thing. Therefore, human beings not only realized the need but also devised methods of various measurements. Like transport in measurements, we have also various types of measurements available. This need of measurement is now an integral part of human thinking. Constant improvement is being made in various methods of measurement. In order to measure any particular quantity, you should know the unit of measurement. First, you have to know about the unit of measurement, the number of units that particular quantity measurement. In figure 11 point handspan, we almost use this type of way to measure any kind of thing. If we want to measure anything, then we use our span. Then we have to know about the unit of measurement. We have different types of units in measurement which we use. In ancient times, people used handspan, cubit, arm length, and foot step as different units of measurement of length and distance. Handspan, first it is the length between the tip of the thumb and the little finger, like this. Tip of the thumb and the little finger were stretched in figure 11.4. Then cubit, it is the length between the tip of the middle finger and the elbow. Middle finger and the elbow, you can see this in figure 11.5. using these methods we can also measure different things. We can measure then arm length. It is the length between the shoulder and the middle finger. You can see in figure 11.6. This is called the arm length. Then footstep. It is the length between the great toe and the heel of the foot. In figure 11.7 you can see here footstep. Handspan, cubit, arm length and footstep differ from person to person. This is because the hand, arm and foot length of all human is not the same. All human have not same length of their foot and arm. Hence, these units of measurement lack precision. Because if we use this type of way to measure any kind of thing, then we will get the different measurement, because the length of the arm and length of the foot of the any type of human is differ from one person to another person. So let us measure length in handspan, cubit and arm length and footstep in activities 11.1 and 11.2 and compare your results with your another person. They have given us activity 11.1 to compare different units of measurement. If you want to try this activity, then measure any kind of thing at your home by your hand and then use your mother or father hand for measuring this type of thing. Then you will, when you will observe the results, the measurement of the measurement is different from you to your mother or your father, because the length of your arm and your father or mother arm is different. Then activity 11.2 to measure length in footsteps. In this we also get the different measurement from one person to another person, because the length of foot from one person to another person is not same, is always. If you use this type of activity, after doing this activity you will get the measurement. All measurements are different from each other. You cannot get the same equal measurement. There was a slight difference between them, because all the body size of person is differ from one person to another person. This led to confusion in measurements. Therefore there was a need for some standard units to measurement that does not change from person to person. Then we have different ways. Using these ways we can measure them. Different standard units to measurement were created at different places for the sake of uniformly. Scientists all over the world have accepted a set of standard units of measurement. This standard system of units is known as the International System of Units. For example, SI units. We have SI units which help us to measure any kind of distance. The SI unit for length is meter. SI unit for length is meter. Sometimes you need to measure very long lengths and sometimes very short ones. Therefore, depending upon the need, different simple multiples and sub-multiples of units of length, example, meter are used. The length between two places, towns and cities is measured in kilometers. Then we cannot use meter there. From one city to another city. The length of a notebook is measured in centimeters. We cannot use their meter. If we want to measure any kind of notebook or textbook, then which type of unit we use there? We use their centimeter. And if we want to measure the distance between two cities, then we use the kilometer there. The thickness of a wire is measured in millimeters. The relation between these simple multiples and sum multiple is shown in the given table. In our textbooks, they have given us the tables, units, which type of units use we at our different places. When we want to measure something, then we use different types of measurements. For example, meters, kilometers, centimeters and millimeters. We have also here the table units of length. 1 kilometer km is equal to 1000 meters. Meters is also called the m. 1 meter is equal to 10 decimeters. 1 decimeter is equal to 10 centimeter and 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. If we want to measure any kind of things, then we use the different types of measurement which we the measurement of length using standard unit of measurement. Meter is made using various measuring tools. Commonly used measuring tools for length are meter scale or meter ruler, meter rod, and measuring tape. You have all seen these type of measurement things around us. Commonly used measuring tools like scale. We all use scale in our school to measure any type. If we want to draw a straight line, then we use them also. We have centimeter in them. You keep a 15 centimeter scale in your geometry box. A cloth merchant uses a meter rule for measuring the length of the cloth. They use a measuring tape. A tailor uses measuring tape to take measurement for stitching your clothes. When we go to tailor shop, we can see there the measuring tape. Using this tape, they measure the body of person. Then they make cloth for the person. For taking measurement of a length, the following steps are followed. We have here some steps. First, please place the meter scale along the length to be measured parallel or its graduation as shown in figure 11.9. In 11.9, we have one type of box and we want to measure them. Then how we will measure? How do we measure this? We keep scale on the box using the centimeter which we have here, and using this method we can measure the box easily. Make sure that it's zero mark which one of the ends of the length to be measured. If we want to use a scale there, then we have the full centimeter on the scale. Without it, we will get the wrong result. In some scales, the ends may be broken. You may not be able to see the zero mark clearly. In such cases, some other digit same mark 1 can be taken as the initial reading. You must remember the digit taken and subtract it from the final reading at the other end to get an accurate measurement of the length. You all able to make a measure of anything using scale, because you have already learned about this in your previous classes in your maths chapters. Also we use their scale to measure anything, any kind of thing. Then you all are able to measure anything using the scale. In our figure, incorrect measurement and correct measurement, you can see in figure 11.10, measurement with 1 as initial incorrect measurement. If we have no zero on our scale, then we can observe 1 as 0 and try to measure them. But always remember, subtract the digits arrange the digits according to the given numbers. For taking measurement, correct position of the eye is also very important. The eye must be placed exactly vertically above the mark to be read. In some scales, we have no zero. Then, for example, in figure 11.10, the initial reading is 1 centimeter and the reading at the final reading is 6 centimeter. Therefore, the length of the box is 6 centimeter minus 1 centimeter. Why we minus that? Because we have no zero on the scale. So, the perfect measurement of this thing is 5 centimeter. So, when you use 1 centimeter as a 0 centimeter, then always remember to subtract the digits, because if you want to perfect measurement of any kind of thing, then we using this method there. Then we have activity 11.3. In this activity, they measure the different types of things using the scales, then compare the results of them. You can see here we have scale and pencil. We have 0 to 15 centimeter available in on our scale. Then they keep pencil from 0 to how many centimeter we have? We have after 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digit. That means 10.5 centimeter. If we want to perfect measurement, then see them very perfectly. So in our next figure we can see the length of pencil is so that 11 centimeter is wrong, because the length of pencil is not perfect 11. We have after 10 the mini lines, 5 lines, that means 10.5 centimeter. Okay, so we have activity also here. In this activity they measure different things using scales and things and to measure length using meter scale. Take out the meter scale from your geometry box. That means in this activity they tell us the some steps. Observe the makings on it. Measure the length of your geometry box using meter scale. Measure the length of your geometry box in centimeters, millimeter and inches. Ask for your classmates to measure the length of your geometry box. You can do this activity at your home. Also record your observation. Record your observation, compare your results with your classmates. Here we have no at present time we have no classmates available because we all are at our home. So try to try to do this activity with your brother or sister. Then after measuring the things, different things, measurements of geometry box, you can write here name length in centimeters, length in millimeters and length in inches. Then observe your results, compare your results. You will observe that the length of the geometry box measured by you and your brother or sisters is the same in all cases. As we have discussed, if we want to measure some things with our arms, with our footsteps, then we cannot get the same results, because the arm and the foot of person from one person to another person is differ. But here if we measure anything using the scale, then we will get the same result, same length, because the measurement of these things is same from one to another. Measure of from one scale to another scale is not different. So when we measure any kind of thing using the scale, then we will get the same result. You can understand more about this by doing this activity. Then we have measurement of a curved line. Our next topic is measurement of curved line. About this topic we will discuss about this in our next session. Till then,